Death Stranding 2 on the Beach was a game that I was extremely excited for, even back after completing Death Stranding, and I enjoyed the world that Kojima made, and I couldn't wait until the next game. And lo and behold, we ended up getting a game fairly quick, and when I booted up this game and played it and was just enjoying every single second of it, I had to get the Platinum Trophy for this game, because honestly, Kojima knocked it out of the park. It was an amazing game that I had high hopes for, and it exceeded my expectations. But I did not only get the Platinum Trophy for this game, I actually ended up 100%ing it. Now going forward, this video will contain no spoilers to the major story of Death Stranding 2. However, there will contain spoilers for the end game stuff. So that includes the facilities that you might find or random side quest stories that you might find that doesn't affect the actual overarching story of Death Stranding 2, but it will contain some stuff that may spoil you for, completing like side quest stuff. But I won't go too much into it. I'll just show off a little bit of it, because obviously I would want you guys to play this game for yourself. That's why I'm not going to show off any major spoilers at all, because this game is amazing. It's one of the best games I've played in quite a while, honestly, and it's just Kojima at his all-time best. Now, don't get me wrong, there is moments of Kojima in this game that, you'll see what I mean later, but the game as a whole was extremely fun, to the point where I don't want to really ruin anyone's, time for this game. I want everyone to experience this game for what it is. But without further ado, let's get into my journey for the Platinum Trophy and the 100% completion. So when you're playing through the game, there's 16 chapters to the game, including a chapter 17 where you can do everything like how you could in the first game, and it's essentially just your free roam. This game does not have a point of no return save when it comes to the final chapter, like Final Fantasy and just other games along those lines. So you can clean up a lot of your trophies, but for the most part, you're going to get at least 23 trophies easy just by playing the game in general. The game is not hard to platinum at all, and 23 trophies, 16 for the chapters you complete, and then you have your standard porter, which is complete a standard order for the first time, my first structure, starting point, self-improvement, which is actually going to be the A-Pass enhancements that you'll get, and the starting point is the Q-Pit, like connecting them, which was in the last game. It's like that, which is just sending a like for the first time, and then a life well liked is receive a total of 2,400 likes or more for completing orders, which you're gonna get that just no problem probably in the first hour you play. Then the last one, you're obviously going to get this as well, is a porter at peak popularity. Receive a total of 50,000 or more likes from completing orders, which once again, you're going to get this just by playing the game in general. And that's how easy this game is. It starts off fairly easy with getting your platinum. You're almost already halfway there just based off of playing the game, and you can enjoy it. It doesn't matter what difficulty you play on. Now, I would say I'd recommend personally playing on the hardest difficulty for the sole reason that I feel like brutal. It's not this Kojima, in this era of Kojima games, the difficulty is not there. It's not any harder, like it's just not Metal Gear Solid with European Extreme or trying to get the big boss rank for these platinums. Like it's fairly simple and just a basic game to get platinums, and it's pretty fun, and the difficulty isn't crazy to where you wouldn't be able to do it just by playing it. Honestly, you won't even really tell a difference if you just start on brutal from the beginning and just go through it from there. You'll just think it's the run of the mill pretty much. Now these next 15 trophies are actually the ones that, in my opinion, they're not quite like side quests and like grindy trophies, but they are the ones that you're gonna have to go out of your way to just do. They're very simple, but you're gonna have to do them just to get this platinum, which I will say, when you're playing just in general, you might get some of them in your first playthrough. Well, there's only one playthrough, there's no New Game Plus, but you'll get these naturally, some of them, but a couple of them you might have to go out of your way to get. Helping people to connect is completing an aid request. Now, for the 100% part, you're gonna have to complete all of these. I think there's 88 in total, but you're gonna have to complete every single one of these aid requests. So I would recommend doing them like while you're playing, just because if you try to do them all later on, you're gonna be in for just a little bit of a grind for sure. Promising signs you can get because sometimes they automatically put one for you at a certain point in the game, but it's construct an online aid request sign. I randomly got this just throughout playing somehow because I never actually put one down manually. They just happen to appear, and I'm pretty sure that's what happens for everyone with the amount you see in the world. Now, Master Builder is not one that you're gonna get, you know, just playing. You'll have to go out of your way to do it unless you happen to build every single structure that requires the signs, that requires electric traps, deployable shields, and then everything you can make from a PCC. Now me, I'm more of a building roads and monorails guy and completing those, but I did have to do this way later in my playthrough. But this is an easy one to get, but it was actually one of the last ones I ended up getting. But these next few are actually ones that you'll just get based off of doing just the standard orders or even some of the main orders. And the first one is, you know, doing your first VR training. You'll actually end up doing this just in general out of nowhere. The next one is the first glimpse of the SSS. You actually get this, I believe, when Fragile comes by in the beginning of the game, and you get the option of holding start and then seeing that. It's like their social media page. It's actually social strand service for Kojima, and it's actually kind of cool. It makes the world kind of feel alive a little bit as much as it can. Now, I do wish that in this game they would have let you like team up with, which I mean, I guess you kind of can with the Magellan and all that, but I wish you could go out in the world with your crew. Would have been pretty cool, but unfortunate. Then you got making it your own, which is use a screenshot, taking a photo mode to decorate your private room, which I actually once again did not do until very much later, but it's still one that you can get. And the road restore is not like Death Stranding 1. Now for the 100%, it is like Death Stranding 1, but for the platinum itself, you just need to do one section of road and you can get road restore. And then there's mines in the game, so if you do 3, I think there's 8 total or 7 or maybe even 9, but you only need to do 3 mines that you need to restore and you get the trophy dig dig dig. And then there's monorails in the game. Now monorails is what brings the mines to the facilities to make it easier to transfer cargo, and this is good for the express orders as well. You're going to want to use them to get an S rank on some of the harder, I would say, orders when you're trying to go for the full 100% for all the Legends of Legends rank for all 400 orders. But a rail restore actually requires you to do an entire line. Now they're not all connected. You'll do one from all the way from like Westfort, not all the way to the F2 distribution center, and it will connect to the first mine that you find in the game. So it will make it a lot easier, but you only need to do one. You don't need to do all of them unless you're doing the 100%. Then you get emergency worker. This actually pertains to a story main order that you can do. So you'll get this one just in general. Then porters make the world go round. You can barter with the porters yet again that you find in the open world, just like in the last game. Now, all you have to do is literally, if they're holding a piece of cargo in front of you, you drop one of your own, you offload it, and they'll grab that. It doesn't matter what piece, they'll grab anything you give them. Now, the Conqueror of the Golden CCs. Now, the people that are rebuilding the roads throughout all of Australia, you probably have killed so many of these creatures, it's almost ridiculous. Just because they're these little blobs, but they give you so much Chiral crystals. And I believe in the beginning of the game, I didn't even know, so this hurt me later because of the amount I had to grind for Chiral crystals. But you could like reload your save or something and then kill them all again. But they're these just little blobs that the first one you kill, you get the trophy. Then these next 3, you will get just based off of playing. You will have these 3 trophies by the end of your playthrough for sure. But as compulsive cargo carrier, deliver a total of 500 pieces of cargo. That is so little in the grand scheme of things. You will get that. And heavy lifter is the next one, deliver cargo weighing a total of 2 tons. You will actually get this, I believe, in the main order, and it's similar to the time I believe you unlock the off-roader, which is going to be your best friend when it comes down to it, because you can put so much cargo in terms of materials for building roads. Is what I use these for quite a lot. But then you got long distance lugger, reach a total distance of 80 kilometers upon completion of an order. You will also get this in general. There's specific missions, just like in Death Stranding 1, where they have you backtrack an entire map. So be prepared when you go through this game. They're back, and yeah, if you don't have roads set up, these will be one of your longest treks ever, but it's still fun. Nothing to really gripe about, honestly. But then you have these 12 trophies. Now these are the ones where you're gonna have to go out of your way to get, and they're gonna take a little bit of, well, maybe a little bit of grinding, but also just, you're gonna do these when you're done with the game essentially. Now you might do some of them in between main orders, but for the most part, this is like in-game stuff in my opinion. This is a lot of the stuff that I did after I completed the game and all that. So I was going back and getting these trophies later, and it is still insanely fun to go do these. I haven't really had anything that annoyed me until a certain moment, and I will get into it. But you got Creature Comforter, which is deliver a wild animal. You actually get this relatively early. It should be in the other list, I guess, because yeah, you would get this probably while playing in general. But paired with this one is will deliver an albino animal. Now I did not get any albino animals until the end game. There's albino animals that you can actually find during aid requests. They're kind of paired to those because you have one, for instance, to the pioneer, I believe, and he will want specific things that you grab this, like a feather, and there'll be an animal right by that you can choose to capture, and you can give it to the animal shelter. And you can capture as many animals as you want, but for the 100%, not the platinum, but for the 100%, you're going to want to capture all the species of animals, and I believe there is 10 total. But then you got Spring into Life. You will get this as a side quest, and it is dig a hot spring for the first time. Now, many people find different first hot springs. Well, I should say there's 3 hot springs I believe that you can find on accident. Now you can find one in Heartman's area. You can find one by the Motherhood, which that's the one that I found. I found one by the Motherhood and accidentally used it to jump to Heartman's area, which was actually kind of hilarious because I was very confused of what even happened. Before the 100%, you're going to want to find all 9 of these. I believe there's 9 scattered throughout the world. I found the majority of them without looking up a guide, but there was a couple that I really needed to find because they're a little finicky. The hot spring diggers are very finicky, where you'll hear this little noise, but finding the part of the ground that it actually wants to be a part of is the hard part. It's not that it's hard to find these, because there's little spots on the map that are just kind of so distinct looking that you could tell that it's like, okay, a hot spring is probably over here. But it's also just finding that one part of the ground where it's like, okay, this is where I can dig. Now it'd be cool if you could have digged them in a big vicinity area and put it exactly like where you would like it to be, but it's still cool. But with the hot springs, you actually can get another trophy called Written in the Stars, and this is where you literally just look up to the stars. And I wasn't expecting this, but you see some constellations, you can see a whale, a BT hand, and then your very own Hideo Kojima within the stars, which is actually kind of hilarious. He always puts himself in the game, and actually, if you take I don't have footage of this because I didn't do it, but if you take a corpse that you might have taken out during your playthrough and you take it to like a tar pit, Hideo Kojima will come out and put that body deeper into the tar to actually dispose of it, and I believe he'll give you some likes for it. Now this next trophy that you can get is called a private show, and it's actually one of the weirdest just moments that I had within the game. Now I don't feel like getting copyrighted on this specific video, that's why you're not really going to hear any Death Stranding music in the background, just because I've gotten copyright claimed at least 30 times in my entire playthrough of the game because of how much songs that there is, and I just don't want that in this specific video. But you can see I was getting very much into it with this private show that Dollman gives you, and you actually end up getting this if you play his favorite song, and he brings it up. Now in my playthrough, I did not hear him at all. This must have been during a grind session. I probably skipped right over it, never ended up playing the song. That I had to look up how on earth to even get him to do this. So you have him do this and you get this crazy private show of him dancing and all that, and you'll see it in the background. But I was getting into it towards the end because the song was actually pretty good, and then I'm not entirely sure who's the person that appears and starts dancing. I'm assuming maybe it's the real artist of the song, possibly. I don't really know, correct me if I'm wrong. But towards the end, at the latter half, I was literally just kind of flicking the lights with the beat and just having a good time with it. So it's really one of the coolest trophies, but so weird as well. I mean, Kojima went full Kojima in this game. There's so many moments This is honestly the least weird one out of the entire game, and it's just more unexpected than anything. Now there's some fun side quests you can do. We will get into these very briefly. I will want you guys to actually play these on your own and figure them out for yourself when you play through this. But you got, so you're the pizza chef. Discover the truth about the pizza chef. Please do this mission. It will not only confuse you at a certain part because it's so just drawing what you're seeing, but also you get one of the best things for combat you could ever possibly get. And I will not spoil the surprise, but my goodness, is it fun to do. But yes, please do the pizza chef missions. Just work on his facility when you first find them, please, because it is great. Now you can actually play Pokemon in this game. Yes, there's a trophy called BT's Best Friend, and this is kind of within the main order story. Now you don't actually need to cap one. I remember when I first played this, I didn't actually capture my very first one. I did it a little bit later during a standard order. But yeah, you can capture a large BT and get a trophy for it, and then you can summon that BT later to fight for you. Now for the 100%, there is not a actual 100% like completion rating for capping every single style of BT in the game. However, for me personally, I wanted every single one that you can find. Now there is a way to make a different one spawn with only, like, you can do standard orders. There's a whole bunch that you can find in standard orders, but there's also 2 you can find. I think 1 in the main order that you can find, and then 2 in sub orders that you can find, as well as, I believe, well, this other one is kind of just, there's a spot in the map that we will get to, but you can capture literally every single ones that you forgot to find, because this is where all the big BTs spawn later. But you can cap every single one that you need to. But for the most part, throughout your entire playthrough, you either can get caught by catchers and they'll drag you to a BT in that area, or just find them within the standard orders, because a lot of them you can fight. So it's relatively easy. It's not a thing you need for the 100%, but for me, that's what I'm going to do, because if I'm gonna do 100%, even though it doesn't count to a percentage or anything, I'm still doing every single thing I can find within the game. Which at the end of this video, we will recap and I'll give all my criteria for what I believe is 100% run of this game. Personally speaking, everyone will probably have a different one to that, but let's get back into the trophies. Now these next 4 trophies, in my opinion, are the coolest side quests that you can do, or other sub orders that you can do, and they hold a decent story to them. They're not integral to the overarching story of Death Stranding 2, but you can do these later in the end game, and they're actually fun to do. We got Showdown at the Tar Lake. Defeat the Lord of the Tar Lake. Now please do this one, and yes, you can capture the BT that spawns. Wink wink. Do that for the 100%. Then the Headless Riders Unmasked. This is just another really cool one. Do this one, please. All these are really fun to do. Then you got Savior of Terminal Fort Knot. Once again, do this one. It's really cool. Now, this is tied to the one that I just said, but is the real story of the Ghost Hunter. You find out something about this facility, and it ties to the Terminal Fort Knot thing. So just do those 2. It's pretty cool, and I don't really want to spoil anything of it. Now this next trophy you can actually get doing the sub order of the Adventurer, but you don't need to. You can actually do this without that. You can just go over here if you want, but there's a crater in the map, and you can decide to just go look if you would like. And this area is the BT Nexus that has and holds, you don't ever have to find this place or do this place if you don't want to, but this place holds all of the big gigantic BTs that you can find. Now there's not a great way to choose what BT spawns. You just kind of have to get lucky, but it will have BT spawn with like just random, I guess, just a way of doing it essentially. Like it's just, you can capture whichever ones you haven't been able to capture. I think they all spawn here. Now, if you played correctly, or not correctly, I shouldn't say, but if you played the game and you wanted to capture everything like me, you probably already got almost all of them. So you're just going to get maybe a couple that you can have spawn here and then just get those. But for the most part, this is still a cool area if you just want to go have a random Pokemon battle out of nowhere and just you can come here to do that. Now these last 5, this is including the platinum, but this is the most grindy part of the platinum area. This is the one where you're gonna find out, one, do you really want the platinum? Is it all worth it in the end? And then if you really like what you did and you want to go for the 100%, tack on another 50 to 75 hours, because this is where the grind truly begins. But for the platinum's sake, you got Seasoned Porter. You're going to complete, unlike in the last game, you need to complete 80 total, which isn't too bad for the most part. But in this game, you only need, I believe, 30, not 40. I was about to say 40, but you just need to complete 10 deliveries, 10 recoveries, and 10 elimination/destruction orders. Now, very simple, very simple. However, I didn't end up getting this trophy till way later. Now, you can obviously go in your orders and search for the specific kind so you can do all 30 relatively fast. I had about 321 standard orders done by the time I got this trophy, because I was doing just going by facility, and I didn't end up actually getting all the ones I needed until very later. I don't even know how that happened, but it didn't matter to me because I was going for the 100%. But we're going to throw these next 3 together, and this is going to get you your platinum, but they're all tied together. So first, keep on connecting. You're going to connect all facilities using your Cupid. Now, while doing this, you should get a Premier Porter, which is achieve a Porter grade of 40 or higher in all categories. Now, you will get that, I believe, just by playing through the game. You might need to do a little bit extra in the end game, but it's all leading to this last trophy for the platinum, and it's just like the last game, and it's the most grindy, heavy part. Now, in this game, you don't have to do all the roads. You don't have to build them all for the plat, but they made that, you know, they took one thing away that made it so much like just such a heavy grind. And they took that away. You're like, yes, that is awesome. And then they brought out so many facilities that just for whatever reason just want to annoy the shit out of you. The Adventurer annoyed me. There are some express orders that annoyed me. There's Mr. Impossible that actually wasn't too bad. But you got Connecting Hearts and Minds. Maximize your connection level with all facilities. Now here's the thing. It's not that bad, to say the least. But you need a lot of orders and a lot of likes within these. Now obviously if you're getting S ranks, you're going to get these likes to go up quite a lot. But there's so many facilities within the game to the point where it's almost like, okay, I have so much to do. Now you can complete Mexico before you even leave Mexico. It's very easy. But when you leave Mexico to go to Australia, that's where the grind begins for all the facilities. But I will say the 2 most annoying ones to do, well, see, it's kind of by preference, but the Adventurer is definitely the most annoying. I'm going to spoil him because you guys need to prepare for the torment he's going to give you, just by sheer annoyance. He's one of the ones, at least facility wise, where first you find this man because of one of the facility's main orders. You rescue him. That's all you're going to do in this game, is rescue him. You're going to rescue him, unlock his facility, do some orders, and then all of a sudden the orders stop giving, you know, the connection level increase. Because why? The dad wanted to leave again and get lost and need rescued. That's all he's there for. He doesn't do this once when you first find him to unlock him. He doesn't do this twice. He doesn't even do it 3 times. This man gets lost 4 times. The 4th time, he decides to get kidnapped randomly and get put to the F3 crater where the BT Nexus is. Now that's not that much of a bad thing, except you have to take the route that he took, and then you don't have a coffin board or anything to actually drive faster, so you now have to walk. And now my exoskeleton thing decided to ruin as soon as I got here, so it took me 9 years to walk to this man, to put him on my back, to then walk back where I came from, to then Dogman to tell me, hey, let's just take the damn thing that we did to get here. He didn't wait to do that until after I walked all the way, so I had to walk back. And I was tired. I damn near fell asleep from this. And what makes matters worse, the first time it's kind of funny, but when you rescue him, he's unconscious. And then all of a sudden, gives you this thumbs up. And it's like, huh, that's cool. Then he gets lost for the fucking 4th time, and then he does it again. I'm like, you need to fucking stop. Heart, hopefully. So give me your patented thumbs up after I rescue you. You know you want to. Just do your thing. It was cool the first time. This lost all its love. I don't like it anymore. Nah, I still like it. Who am I kidding? Yeah, okay, a little less. But this should be it. Go ahead, tell me.
You found him and brought him home.
Yep, sure did.
It's a miracle. Give me a moment to check his vitals.
They're perfect. Nope. Ooh, new song. This has got to be the last song too. We leveled up everything. There it is. Connecting hearts and minds. Give me it. Give me it. Homo liberans, the savior of humanity. It's over in terms of the grind to the platinum. I would probably be more hype on different circumstances, but the amount of grind I've done for this game is insane because I'm going for 100%. And I don't have to, but that is what I am doing. And it's been a terribly long grind for sure. It's not over yet either. We still have 9 more missions to do.
Damned if I know what happened out there, but he wants to tell you all about it personally.
Oh, he's actually awake?
Spare a moment to listen to his story.
Sure, man.
Thank you so much, Sam. I was nearly ensnared by a catcher, you see. So I ate a necrobiote to force my body into a state of thanatosis. And thus, my encounter didn't result in a void out. Not too bad for a spur of the moment idea.
I've accidentally done that in this game.
Unfortunately, I found myself unable to move, and would have surely died a true death in time. You saved me from that fate, and thanks be to you, I am able to share the revelation that the place you rescued me from is a catcher nexus of sorts. No doubt it is a key factor in the ongoing environmental irregularities of the continent.
It's funny, he's telling me this, but in reality, I've been there already, so I already knew every single thing.
Of some sort, and in so doing, bring us a step closer to saving the world.
That was a shit story. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I've eaten one of these actually. They prevent BTs from spotting you. What the hell? Okay, hold on. Where's he to? Because you were paying the favor of how I had to carry his ass forever. I mean, I'll take it. That's kind of nifty. I like that. Yeah.
I can never thank you enough for everything you've done for me.
You're
Let
right.
us keep on keeping on, Sam.
Now you better keep on keeping your ass at fucking home. I ain't gonna lie. You better not get lost a single time again. If he's in Death Stranding 3, I might not play it. Now, is it really that annoying and like, you know, am I actually mad at the guy? No. But it is kind of annoying. I ain't gonna lie. It is annoying for sure. Just because he takes the longest. He doesn't have as much of lost cargo because everyone is trying to upgrade this man. So you're not gonna find it around the world. He doesn't even have a lot of lost cargo just in general that's offline to even grab. So you're doing the standard orders, but here's the thing. He only got 7 standard orders, I believe, or maybe it's 9, but he doesn't have that many for you to grab to even get likes. And all of the ones that you can do might gain you a total of 7 star, or not 7 stars, like 1.5 stars. They don't give you a lot of likes even when you S rank them. And then you're stuck waiting the 6 hours in real game time. Well, it's kind of like give or take, but in game time that you just need to go do other orders. Now, if you're going for the platinum, it's fine. Or not the platinum, but the 100%, it's fine, you know? And I guess if you're going for the platinum, you don't even need to do this part really. Well, now you kind of do, actually, now I think about it, because you need to fully connect him all the way. So yeah, this man is annoying. I just went on a rant about the adventurer, but that is why. But after you do it, you have Mr. Impossible. that there is this final big order. It's literally it goes by his name. So I'm not going to spoil this, but I will say this with a wink. You can cheese it if you want. It does not matter. You do not need the S rank. It is a sub order. Sub orders, in my opinion, don't count towards the 100% completion or the plat. Sub orders do not matter. And the reason why I say this, there's not even a way in the actual looking at all the activity records and all that. Sub orders, I guess, just don't matter. Same with main orders. You get these grades, but they don't attribute to the main big completionist grade, in my opinion. Now, other people might have different criteria and say you need to. But this final Mr. Impossible order that you can do. Now, I did the Adventurer last because I actually found Mr. Impossible to be relatively possible. So this final one that he gives you actually isn't that difficult. I'll just give one piece of advice. I'm not going to show it off too much. I didn't end up doing this until after, and I reloaded my save and did it a different way. But just make sure you have all your roads built, all your monorails and all that. Well, you don't really need the monorail, and then maybe have a lot of weapons going into this, or just know the routing. But take a trike. If you take a trike cruiser, you will literally go through it so fast, and then it's fine. You'll be fine. It's just one of the longest treks in the game, and it takes a while. And you're going to be fighting enemies throughout this, and you can't take too long, you can't take too much damage, and you can't let your cargo get hurt at all. But after you complete this, you will get level 5 on these guys, and you finally unlock the platinum. Which, pardon my pronunciation, I don't really know Latin like that, but Homo Liberans, the savior of humanity, obtained all Death Stranding 2 trophies. So you got the platinum. Congratulations. It took a lot of grind. It probably took you 70, maybe 80, maybe 90 or 100 hours, but you completed it. You had a blast. It was an amazing game. Kojima's at it again with a masterpiece, in my opinion. And you're like, I want more, but what else can I do? Then you look at the social strand service and realize, okay, so there's these completion milestones that you can do. All right, interesting. You're driving through the roads and you see people have these Legends of Legends or Legends of Legends of Legends orders, and you're like, what are these? Why do they have so many? Someone got 200, someone got 400. And you're like, okay, so there's crazy amount of missions you can do. Okay, interesting. So these are all required for this 100%. You thought the grind was getting this platinum and connecting all the facilities to 5 stars. But in reality, the true grind begins now. So obviously this video has been going on for about 30 minutes, and now this is me live. I'm actually recording as I'm playing instead of talking over it. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because the first step to the 100% for me, you gotta at least do this one time. You gotta play some Pac-Man, and I'm actually gonna show you how to play Pac-Man. It's very, very simple. All you have to do is have 5 stars on Pizza Chef and then deliver him some. So hopefully this order is enough to, get the Pac-Man pizza, because it obviously isn't a coincidence that his area, if you look at the map, is a Pac-Man. That's not a coincidence, because hopefully this activates it, but you can play Pac-Man, and I feel like for 100%, you should be required to do this at least once. So hopefully he gives us the pizza. Let's find out. Please, 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 maybe. Yep, here we go. I got you. But this is the most important part of the 100%. You gotta play Pac-Man at least once. You get the Pac-Man pizza, and you can hear the noises making. It's pretty neat. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, it's actually pretty cool. Now, Sam got to be the fastest eater I've ever seen with pizza, but here we go. I actually never did this before. This is the first time I'm doing this, but you literally just, okay, hold on. I thought we'd just go right in. So how do I activate it? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so I don't think there's a way to win. I mean, normally you could win, but what this actually does in terms of the game itself is it prevents BTs from spawning in that area for a little bit. So, but just play a little game of Pac-Man. That's all you got to do. Just play a small little game of Pac-Man. Doesn't matter how good you do. If you do good enough, I don't know. Like, I'm at 4 ghosts right now. I wish they gave you like a high score or something. But yeah, this is the first step. This is the very first step to your 100%. And then we will actually get into the actual criteria. But I just had to do this at least once because this was the one thing in the game I have not done yet. And I felt like I had to at least do it just to get it. But yeah, we're going to finish up this game and we're going to stay live. The only thing that's not going to be live is when I actually show my final mission that I did to get it. So we got 600. So that means we took out 6 BTs essentially. But yeah, you got to make sure you do that first. Now let's get into the actual 100%. You can consider that like 110%. But we're going to go over here. And there is these completion milestones. Now there's 16 total. Now if you want just the basic, doing what it is that it shows, then complete these and you will get your 100%. So what these entails is you have to get max level connections. So if you got the platinum, you already got that. You get areas connected to the chiral network, also 42. And if you got the platinum, you would do that as well. Now, these are where it's not connected to the platinum, but you got species of animals rescued. There is 11 total, and you get the majority of them throughout the world. Like, I think I had 9, and I just had to rescue 2 different ones. And the albino does not count towards it, but that was just for the platinum. Now, biospecies eaten. So, there's 5 of them. You'll get them throughout the game. You have the chronobiote, the necrobiote, the chlorobiote, electrobiote, and the cryptobiote. You'll find these throughout the game, and I did not realize I have 303 of these goddamn things. That's actually crazy, but all you have to do is just eat one of each of these and it will give you that completion milestone, which is very, very easy. Now, you have the APAS enhancements developed. Obviously, that means go to this, get every single thing that it has to offer. This is all of them. This is all 48 of them. There is no more, no less, but you get that completion milestone when you do it. So then after that, you go here. Now, these are technically, this would be the last one that you would do in my opinion, but you have the number of, you can either do legend evaluation, legends of legends evaluations, or legend of legends evaluations. Now, in my opinion, this is just personal opinion. If you're going to 100% the game, you need to do legends of legends evaluations 400 out of 400. The only reason why I say that is because in other games, if you're going to get 100%, you're playing on the hardest difficulty. So playing on the hardest would be brutal, and that would give you the legends of legends. So just do that. Get yourself 400 out of 400. It's crazy. But then you're going to do all 88 of, this is the crazy part. These are essentially different orders because some of them require you to actually go out and deliver them, but all 88 of the aid requests. Now, some of them are just take out some people. Some of them are recover and deliver, like cargo. Some of them are just building things. That's really all they boil down to, is you're either taking out something, you're recovering something, or you're building something. That's essentially all it is. I don't think I found any other one, but you need to do all 88 of these, and I would recommend doing them throughout the time you're playing the game, and then you won't have to do a lot throughout of it. But as long as you do that, then you will get the completion record, or the completion milestone, I should say. Now we'll go on to the drills completed at the firing range. So there is a firing range in the game that many people, I mean, if you played this, you know exactly what it is and what it entails. But there is little, kind of like how they did VR missions in Metal Gear. Well, it's like that in Death Stranding 2 as well. And all it is there's 22 missions that you have to S rank, in my opinion. I don't know if it's actually S ranked or just, let me actually look at that again, because I don't know if it's S rank or completing it just in general. Let me look. Drills completed at firing range. So I'm actually not giving, okay, so you're at 100% if you continue that, but I feel like I'm going to add another step to this where it's going to be like 120% by the end of this, because this isn't all we're going to do, in my opinion. There's still a little bit of extra things I would like to have people do, in my opinion, when it comes to the 100%. But all you're going to do is you're going to get up, you're going to go to the VR room, you're going to do all 22 of these, and you have to get an S rank in my opinion. If you want the 100%, you have to get an S rank. I feel like it's just required. Just because, I mean, that's, if there was a percentage bar, I feel like it wouldn't go up unless you did this all. But you have 13 of these, 9 of these, and it's literally, they're literally very simple. I would say these three are easy, and once you do that, then you'll unlock it to be able to do forever, honestly. But you have this, and it's literally S ranks on all of them. These are the, I would say these 4 are the hardest 4. Well, I don't even think this is hard, but you can do these 2 fairly easy. I mean, I did this first try. They were all pretty much done first try. I think the only ones I didn't do first try was I think one of these because I got spotted. But very simple, very simple. You do all 22 of those. So let's go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 right here. So you already got halfway done with just doing this, and that's not counting. I feel like they should add an extra thing for all those evaluations, but you have 8 total, so you need obviously 8 more. Where do you get those? In the structure records. So from here, roads restored. You got to restore all the roads just like in Death Stranding 1 for the platinum, but instead this is just for the completion milestone. Then, to make matters worse and a lot more grinding, you then need to fully upgrade all 57 sections of road. Now, it's tough, I'm not gonna lie, it is tough, but hopefully now by the time when people actually are coming and playing, many people already built the roads, so all you need to do is probably add maybe 200 metals, 200 ceramics, and 200 Cairo crystals, something like really, really small in my opinion. But then you have tracks restored. Obviously that's all the monorails. They're fairly simple, they take special alloys and resins, so honestly it's one of the more simpler things because there's only 33 sections of these, and normally they're close to distribution centers, so you can, you know, bring materials fairly quick in my opinion. But then you have the Battle of the 9, you got mines restored and hot springs dug. So you restore all 9 of the mines that you can find throughout the world. I mean, you can see it on the map. There's mine at North Tar Lake, but there's so many of these. Well, so many, there's only 9. But, and then you have the hot springs dug, which I found, I believe, 7 of these, and I needed to look up the last 2 because I really didn't know where they were, which posed an issue. But once I figured it out, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. But the hot spring digger is kind of, it's a little finicky because they don't let you put it wherever you want. You have to find the specific point on the map, which if you look at the map, you can see this kind of irregular area in the map where you're like, huh, that must be something, and it is. But then you have types of equipment unlocked. Just if you got like the platinum, you practically already got this because when you complete all of the facilities, you're unlocking all the equipment anyways, so you will unlock all 95. It's not like the previous game though where you have to fabricate every single piece. I think in the last game it was like Homo Faber or something where you had to fabricate every single thing. It's not like that in this game. But if you want like an extra percentage to your 100%, you can go ahead and do that. I mean, that's not too difficult. I put so much stuff in private lockers and all that, like it's everywhere. But then you have types of vehicle customizations fabricated. Once again, you're gonna get this just in general. You build an off-roader, you're gonna have all those different options. You've probably already done this before, but regardless, it's very simple to get, as well as the types of backpack customizations fabricated. You're going to get this just based off of playing. You'll unlock it, and then you get the backpack cover, level 1, level 2. You get all the stabilizers and all those mods that you can get, and it's just easy. So once you did all that, you have all 16 milestones complete. Now, that's your 100% right there. If you choose to stop there, understandable. That is your 100%. However, I feel like there is a kind of a little bit more you can do. Let's say 5% is that Pac-Man thing we just did. That's 5%. Now, the drills and the firing range, S-rank all those, that's 110% in my opinion. I know we could probably be going like, you know, 2% or maybe 1% for each of these, but I'm just going to make it seem bigger than it is. But you're at 110% if you did all that. Now, what I want to say is when you go over to here, structures built and fully upgraded. I feel like you should have gotten a completion milestone for this as well. All I think is when you do master builder, if you fully upgrade, like you get the achievement, but then if you fully upgrade all those that you built, I feel like that should have gave you a completion milestone. But as long as you got Master Builder and you fully upgraded everything, which is what I did, I feel like that should give you an extra 5%. So now you're at 115% of total completion. So there's only a little bit more you can do. Now, this stuff is, you know, it doesn't really matter in my opinion. There's nothing here because it's like RNG based on whether or not you're going to get a lot of likes or anything like that. So we're not going to look at that, but you're at 115. This is the final thing in my opinion. Well, actually there's a couple things, but you want to max out all of your stats. All of these, you know, it's fairly simple, but it does take some grinding to level them all up to level 5. And you're definitely OP once you get to all this because just you get the A-Pass enhancement that gives you, I think, auto aim somewhere around here or aim assist, and then you mix that with all your stats being high up. Like it's insane. But the final things that I can think of is honestly, did you cap all the BTs? Now I don't want to spoil anything, but go to the BT Nexus. If you're missing specific BTs, they will be at the BT Nexus and you can cap all the ones you need to. And after that, I honestly don't think there's any more, but that should put you up to 120% in terms of completion. In my headcanon at least, because I feel like there is nothing more for you to do in the game. I mean, just absolutely nothing. Like I've done everything there is. Everything is completely finished. So let's do a final look, which I think I do this just in general when I'm going to show off when I fully completed the game and was extremely happy. But this is my final stats, which this stats are going to look different from when I completed it. So I'll probably have less likes, but just take a good gander. This is my final stats and probably the last time you'll see me play. I have my little send-off prepared when that time comes, because I do have one more thing I want to do that has nothing to do with completion. But yeah, these are my stats as of right now for 100%. Obviously we don't have as much likes as I've seen other porters have. They had like 5 million, 4 million, but honestly I'm just happy to have over 1.3, because in Death Stranding 1 I think I only had 500k, so we definitely stepped it up on this one. And I mean, just to be able, I didn't 100% Death Stranding 1, I only got the platinum. So to be able to do all this, the amount of grind that I did, it feels worth it, honestly. It's one of these games where you look back on this, and when the inevitable director's cut that might come out in the future, when I come back to this game, I'm going to be excited to see, one, who decided to use a lot of my materials and all that. You know, it's going to be interesting to see all that. But yeah, let's get right into my reaction to 100%ing, well, I should say 120%ing Death Stranding 2. Oh man, the final stretch. I can't believe I have a mission to Mexico I had to do. But this is my final mission that I gotta do, and obviously we gotta snipe. Oh, he turned at the last second there. Oh my god, stop moving, thank you. Okay, what is that? Is he behind a wall? He must be behind a wall, but it's like blurry, I can't see. Let's get this other one. Yeah, he don't even know where it's coming from. There we go. Oh, okay, yeah, it's not even turning red. I just now realized that. Oh, hold on, I'm coming to you. You don't gotta keep me waiting, I'm coming. I'm on my way. Luckily, this is one of the earlier bases, so it's not gonna be a lot. I do like the music they're playing in the background. It's like they even know. Triumphant last mission to do. What the hell? Wait, where is he? Oh, okay, I see. Just a little bit more. Oh goddamn! Did not expect him to run. Fuck. Boom. All right. Is there one more? Oh yeah, I see you. Hold on. Line it up. Enemy base neutralized. This is it. 165 hours of playtime coming. Damn, 12 pieces. Okay, but still, 165 hours of nonstop grind to do every single possible thing in the game. We've done all of the drills, S rank. We've done everything side quest wise that's not even required. I mean, we literally have done every single possible thing. We caught every single BT. We leveled up all the way to level 5 on everything. So this is the final thing. That's honestly crazy. We're almost here. Oh my gosh. The fact that, like, I haven't played many games where I've gone out of my way to do more than what they've asked and 100%ed it. There's a select few. Definitely a select few. Probably I can only count them on a single hand, honestly, because it's just not something I do. I'll get the platinum and then I'm like, yeah, it's good enough for me. But to just go through all of this and to finally, I don't want to say finally because it sounds disrespectful to the game, but this grind has been long. So it is a finally in the sense of like all the work has come to an end. I'm the ultimate porter. I've done everything there is to do this last mission, and it's time for me to retire. And if there's a Death Stranding 3, I'll be back. But if this is the final Death Stranding, like Kojima said it probably will be, then it's just the way it's going to be. Here we go. Yes. This is an S rank. You don't even have to tell me. You don't even have to tell me. I already know. Show me the 400. Show me the 400. Oh my gosh. Let's go. 400 Legends of Legends of Legends rank. It doesn't get much better than that. We are officially done. We are officially done. Oh man. This looks beautiful. All 16 milestones. All 400, like, it's just basking it. I'm basking in it right now, but man, that's just awesome. That is awesome. Well, it's done. This is our final trek. It's bittersweet to say goodbye. It is. I'm not gonna lie. Spoilers ahead. There's gonna be some characters. I'm showing off every single character in the game, and we're gonna give a proper send-off to everything. So if you don't want to see it, which if you got this far, yeah, I mean you had to, wanted to, but if you don't, it's your last warning. But this is my sky base where I'm gonna take my final time. I got back from the mission. This is it. But Rainy having her dance in the rain. Obviously, I'm probably going to get copyrighted from that, so I kind of want to talk over it, but I'm going to say goodbye to every single member of the crew. There's Fragile. Looking so cool as always. Damn, she's so cool. She's so tough. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to see some unlikely people, but every main is in here, and one not main. But what's up, Higgs? I know. It's crazy that you're in this, but you know, I gotta put you there. And then the only one that's not a part of the crew that made the cut. What's up, pizza chef? I gotta include you. Keep that pizza nice and hot ready, you know what I'm saying? Got to. Oh man, it's kind of bittersweet, honestly. What's up, Tar Man? It's our final time. It's the final goodbye. Yeah, appreciate it. I feel like everything has come to an end with this game. It's kind of bittersweet. What's up, Dead Man? It is bittersweet for sure. Thank you. We got 2 more goodbyes. I gotta show off the man though. Hit me with that dance real quick. Yes, sir. Yep. He hitting that. Yep. Oh man, I'm glad he's back in this game though. It was such a big surprise, honestly. But hey, it was a pleasant surprise. It's funny. I went from hating Charlie to being so happy we was in the game because of the fact that there was Die Hardman. But let's keep going. We only got 2 more goodbyes. I don't even know who this one is, actually. Oh, Heartman. Yeah, of course. Give me your patented. Give me your patented. That's not your patented. That's not it. That's not what I want to see. Give me a thumbs up. Come on, do it. Do it. Do it. I want my thumbs up. I want my thumbs up. I want my thumbs up. Come on. Come on. Come on. There it is. Let's go. Oh, man. Last but not least, we got to say goodbye to Lou tomorrow. Oh, man. It's bittersweet. It is. It's bittersweet. Oh, my gosh. It's crazy. I mean, just the final goodbye. It's like saying goodbye to the crew, honestly. It is. It's like saying the last final goodbye to the crew. And I mean, thank you, Kojima. It was an extremely fun game to play. It was. I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of this game tremendously. It hit in the perfect right time for me too. The ending was extremely emotional. The music was amazing. I mean, I kind of have to talk over it or else this shit will probably copyright the shit out of me, not gonna lie. But the game was amazing. It made my top 10 all time for sure. Whether or not it makes the top 5, I honestly don't know. I don't know if I view this game better than Death Stranding 1 or not. I've been sitting on it for a while. I think I do, but I need to give it a little bit more time. But this game, there's not many games that I want more than a Death Stranding 3 just because of the ending. Because if I can play as Tomorrow and, you know, fight like how she was fighting in the game, that would be amazing. But can't ask for too much. He made a masterpiece. Let's not do like they did in Metal Gear Solid, where they were sending death threats and just being overly wanting of the game. If this is where Kojima truly wants the story to end, it's a nice send-off, you know? I'm actually okay with it. I'm not mad at it. This is one of the few games to make me shed a tear. You guys seen that? Well, not seen it, but you guys heard that. I got emotional during that ending. But before we fully go, one last look at this. Level 380, that's our Porter grade. We got everything leveled up all the way. All 16 milestones completed. 1.3 million likes. We've delivered tons of cargo, over 3K cargo. We've traveled almost 2.5 kilometers. I mean, we've done a lot. We delivered 48 tons of cargo. That's a crazy amount, but it's come to an end. It has come to an end. You can't be mad when something good like this comes to an end. You just kind of have to embrace it and just be happy that it happened, because you don't get many games like this. But with that being said, my final message to all the future porters, past porters, the porters now, is just keep on keeping on.